Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, O Lord.
As Jesus came down from the mountain with Peter, James, and John, and approached the other disciples, they saw a large crowd around them and scribes arguing with them. Immediately, on seeing him, the whole crowd was utterly amazed. They ran up to him and greeted him. He asked them, "What are you arguing about with them?" Someone from the crowd answered him, "Teacher, I have brought to you my son possessed by a mute spirit. Whatever it seized him, it threw him down. He foamed at the mouth, ground his teeth, and became rigid. I asked your disciples to drive it out, but they were unable to do so." He said to them in reply, "O faithless generation, how long will I be with you? How long will I endure you? Bring him to me." They brought the boy to him. And when he saw him, the spirit immediately threw the boy into convulsions, and he fell to the ground. He began to roll around and foam at the mouth. Then he questioned his father, "How long had this been happening to him?" He replied, "Since childhood. He has often thrown him into fire and into water to kill him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us." Jesus said to him, "If you can, everything is possible to one who has faith." Then the boy's father cried out, "I do believe. Help my unbelief." Jesus, on seeing a crowd rapidly gathering, rebuked the unclean spirit and said to it, "Mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again." Shouting and throwing the boy into convulsion, he came out. He became like a corpse, which caused many to say, "He is dead." But Jesus took him by his hand, raised him, and he stood up. When he entered the house, his disciples asked him in private, "Why could we not drive the spirit out?" He said to them, "This kind can only come out through prayer." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I'm sure that some of you, being a father and a grandfather, and I'm sure that the children are a blessing to you. Listening and reading this gospel came to my mind experience that I have in January. That I went home and I visited some of my couple friends, and they had two children. But the first child is a special child. She's 13 years old, and the youngest, he is 5. And at the beginning, for them, when they have a special child, it was difficult for them to accept that. And even sometimes they question God. They wondering, why the thing happened to us? What we did wrong? And in so many ways they feel guilty. And even in moments when they lost hope and faith. But little by little, they start receiving even counseling and reflecting and they don't, after a while, they don't just see that it was something against God, how they were able to accept the blessing and see in their daughter that it was a gift from God. And even they were afraid to have another child, but God blessed them with a second child. And now the youngest child take care also of his sister. So this January, when I went to visit them, that I haven't seen for a few years, it was totally different what they were sharing to me. Now they open a space uh, to have like a daycare for special children, and they said we start praying to the Lord, and when we start praying, God opened our minds, and now we feel blessed. Of course, that we have our struggles, but even pandemic didn't destroy us, and we survived. Now we are so happy helping other parents that they have a special uh, special children, that how they be able to see in them and their own son or daughters the blessing and the beauty of God. And I think that happened. I'm sure that this man in the gospel, he was so afraid, and probably he was desperately looking for Jesus. And that's why he asked the disciples, can you cure my son? Because he's possessed by a demon. And you know that the evil work in so many ways in our society. But how the Lord also even questioned him. But that's why he said, everything is possible to one who has faith, as Jesus said. But the Father said, I do believe, but help my unbelief. And I think that God help us in our moments of unbelief. How is our faith today? Or how is our faith, how strong our faith is when we have some experience in life, something that even we don't understand at the moment, or something that challenge us or change our routine. How we be able to believe in the Lord, or even just to say the simple phrase as this father said to Jesus, I do believe, Lord, in you, but help me in my unbelief. And even Jesus at the end, when he answered the question to the disciple, how come you did it and we couldn't do it? Maybe we could say, because they don't have faith. Of course that they had faith. But Jesus said, because this kind can only come out through prayer. And we know that prayer are so powerful. So what could be our prayer today? And the needs of the situation that we are carrying on, but how we be able to see through that prayer the beauty, the blessing, the healing, the presence of God. And when we feel that our faith is down, that we persevere, that we be able to say to the Lord to guide us with His Spirit, and that we be able to continue working, doing our best, and to just humble ourselves before the Lord. I do believe you, Lord, but help me in the moments of my unbelief.